Us in the rain, but some areas in the Northwoods, as I mentioned, seeing some snow. So hour by hour forecast through tonight should see a little bit of a break in the next hour or so before that wintry mix eventually transitions to snow for some areas as we get into the morning hours. That's your weather first from Storm Team 5. Local 5 News starts right now.
Your stories, our community. This is Local 5 News with Connie Feldman and meteorologist Brian Morse.
Good evening and thank you for joining us for Local 5 News at 10. I'm Connie Feldman. You can now grab an old-fashioned to go when you pick up your Friday night fish fry thanks to a bill Governor Evers signed into law yesterday. Local 5's Rhonda Fox brings us reaction from tavern owners in the Fox Valley.
If people are looking for an old-fashioned with their Friday night fish fry, it's a little more opportunity for us.
Class B licensed businesses can now sell liquor to go by the glass with to-go orders and a tamper-evident seal.
And I think this is a way to have customers feel comfortable with still getting their favorite cocktails to take home with them.
And for pubs in the Fox Valley affected by pandemic seating restrictions, this law offers some financial relief.
The pub has lost a lot of revenue in the last year. COVID has hit the hospitality industry the hardest, and we're looking forward to new ways to get new revenue and always grow the business.
Personally, I was definitely excited because I see it as another revenue stream for our business. There are a lot of people who still are more comfortable eating at home but want to enjoy like restaurant quality food and drinks.
For those who pick up curbside, businesses say alcohol checks are still in place.
So we do check IDs and make sure that we're not serving minors.
If somebody called and asked to order 20 old fashions, we would definitely be aware of quantities and still trying to serve safely, and also ensuring that it's going to their home.
In Appleton, Rhonda Fox, Local 5 News.
As the Cocktails to Go law goes in effect tomorrow, Mothers Against Drunk Driving posted a statement on Facebook urging caution. Quote, as more states make curbside and to-go alcohol sales permanent, remember to never drink and drive. Make sure alcohol sales are to people 21 and older and follow states' open container laws by keeping drinks sealed and away from the driver, end quote. In your latest coronavirus numbers, hospitals are seeing a decrease in the number of COVID-19 patients being hospitalized. The DHS is reporting more than 400 people have recovered from COVID-19 since yesterday, while 450 new cases have been added to Wisconsin's total. One more person has died in the last 24 hours. The pandemic has led to food shortages for many in our area. Today, hundreds of local families got some help feeding their families. The community outreach group Crusaders of Justia held their weekly food drive pantry, a drive-up pantry in Manitowoc. The group distributes food boxes containing fresh fruit and vegetables, meat, dairy, and more. Organizers say they've seen the need grow throughout the pandemic.
Especially the immigrant community were left out of the stimulus package, that need seemed to grow. And so Crusaders of Justicia not only helped here, but we help in 18 different cities every single week. We're up to our 42nd city since pandemic started.
Leaders say the group helps more than 3,000 families per week in multiple counties. Well, this weekend has sacred significance for many different people. In the Jewish community, it's Passover. It's one of the most important and foundational holidays celebrated in the Jewish faith. Typically, they would celebrate Seder today in temple, but this year they have to change their plans to accommodate everyone.
We're still having Seders both Saturday night and Sunday night, but we are going to limit the attendees so that we can properly seat everybody and so that everybody can celebrate but still remain safe.
This year, with pandemic precautions in place, religious leaders say they have a better idea of how to handle the changes while still being able to celebrate. In a positively Wisconsin story, a man from Chicago has made his way to Door County on foot. Local 5's Aaron Taylor caught up with Lee Thornquist and learned why he's decided to run all the way around Lake Michigan.
We are in, what town is this?
When you're running around Lake Michigan, sometimes it's hard to keep track.
This is day 13 of the run. Started in Chicago, and the goal is to run a little over 1,100 miles around the perimeter of Lake Michigan.
Lee runs a different leg of that 1,100-mile run every day. On Friday, he started out just south of Sturgeon Bay, and he's ending up here at the Bay Beach Wildlife Sanctuary.
Right now, it's pretty much always around 31, usually give or take a mile.
That's 31 miles a day.
We usually try to start running around 7:30, and then right now I've been doing like 4 to 5 mile segments, and then I'll hop back in the RV.
The RV is always waiting at the end of each of those segments, thanks to Patty.
My main job is just to make sure Lee can do what he's doing, which is a very traumatic experience on his body. He's doing all the grunt work so he can put his energy elsewhere.
That energy is going into the run and the cause he's running for.
I'm fundraising for the Alzheimer's Association, and that is special to me because my grandma, Harriet, battled dementia and Alzheimer's for 13 years before passing away.
So far, he's raised more than $30,000.
Something like this, you know, it garners attention, and so I wanted to use that attention for something positive.
He says it's also served as motivation on those 31-mile days.
The first 10 days were very tough.
His path will take him through Green Bay, up through the UP, then back to Chicago, down the coast on the Lake's Michigan side.
I think I'm most looking forward to just seeing how high the fundraiser can go. And if I'm being honest, I will be very excited to be done and to have some beers and lay in my bed.
All of that is just about 800 miles away. In Door County, Aaron Taylor, Local 5 News.
31-mile days, plural. If you'd like to track Lee's journey or donate to his fundraiser for the Alzheimer's Association, you can find a link on our website, wearegreenbay.com. You go, Lee. Well, spring elections are right around the corner. Winnebago, the third largest county in our area, will choose their next leader in the upcoming election on April 6th. Mark Harris, the current county executive, has held that office since 2005. Harris says his success as county executive is due to keeping spending low throughout his tenure.
You really have to find some significant efficiency every couple of years to make those numbers work, and we've been able to do that.
Harris says a lot of projects they've taken on have allowed them to save money and work on paying off county debt. You can watch the full interview with Local 5's Tom Zelaski tomorrow morning at 7:30 on Newsmaker Sunday. Still to come, the pandemic has changed many events and activities around our area. But have you noticed the absence of Jehovah's Witnesses at your door?
A wintry mix in the region right now when it all exits and when temperatures could climb to 60 degrees. That's coming up next in the Storm Team 5 forecast.
You're watching Local 5 News with Connie Feldman. And now, from the area's certified most accurate forecast, 8 years in a row, meteorologist Ryan Morse.
Well, it's been a dreary day, and we've seen those gray skies throughout the day, and rain has plagued us throughout much of the day as well. And actually, in the last few hours, some flakes up in the Northwoods. And here's a look at our Skyview cam, powered by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Pretty blurry in Green Bay, 37 degrees. We've been seeing those rain showers. Current visibility across the region, not bad for most of the Fox cities, still at 10 miles. We're watching west of the Fox cities, under 5 miles. And for areas up in the Northwoods, we're watching some snow as we get into this evening. But radar and satellite across the Midwest, we do have a low pressure system stationed to our east. That's causing some severe weather to the south, but this is the low pressure system we're watching as we get into this evening. Now, as we zoom in here on radar, here is all that rain and snow throughout the state. So we've seen that consistent rain throughout the day. Most of that's just moving off into Lake Michigan. But what I want to point out with this is the next round of rain, snow we're going to have to watch through the next couple hours. Eventually, this is going to rotate down to us, and that rain we are seeing now, that's going to rotate upwards. So we should enter a little bit of a break period for those south near Winnebago and the Fox cities, the Northwoods, still seeing some snow. And as we zoom in here on radar, as I mentioned, that snow up in the Northwoods looks like that rain snow line is just west of Marinette, and this snow is struggling to stick at times because we are seeing temperatures slightly above freezing in many portions. Here's those rain showers just moving off Door County east of Sturgeon Bay. This will continue to make its way northeast, as I just mentioned, but west of the Fox cities. So through the next hour or so, don't expect much rain through the Fox cities, down through Winnebago, Calumet, Winnebago counties, because we're going to see this brief break through the next hour or so before that snow band starts to rotate. And we'll see that on Futurecast. So as we get closer to midnight, this is when that snow band will start to rotate through. And this is where we could see some accumulations, especially for areas up in the Northwoods. Here's Sunday, still in the early morning hours, that snow band still rotating through. Notice as we get closer to breakfast, that rotates through. 10 a.m., we're just still dealing with those lingering clouds, but center portions of the state start to see some sun, and then we eventually start to see some sun. So hour by hour, chance of rain and some chances of snow. So we'll be calm through the next hour or so in the Fox cities. It's once we get into the early morning hours, that snow band will rotate into our region, and that wraps up as we get past breakfast for your Sunday. So in terms of accumulations, not much expected from the system. Temperatures, they're going to be above freezing, so this is going to be tough to stick at times, but through the early morning hours, we could see those temperatures drop below freezing, so watch for some slick spots. The most likely accumulations are going to occur up in the Northwoods. North of Highway 64, I'd say, is the best area to get a chance of over 1 inch of snowfall. So some rain snow chances over the next 7 days. Tuesday is what we're going to have to watch. Futurecast wind gusts through the next couple days, especially tomorrow. We're going to see that wind pick up. It's not so bad right now, but notice as we get into the evening, we'll see those wind gusts close to 40 miles an hour at times. Once we get to 8 p.m., those winds will start to calm down out of the northwest. Then that wind shifts out of the south, and that's what's going to warm us up on Monday. So temperatures could climb near 60 degrees as we get into Monday. So here's your forecast. Once we get into tonight, scattered rain, snow mix north, but that snow may drift southward into the Fox cities. Low temperatures pretty close to freezing, which is going to determine who gets some snow. Tomorrow, we'll start with some of those clouds, but it eventually will become sunny and windy. Those temperatures into the mid-40s, could be gusting over 30 miles an hour at times. 7-day forecast, we warm back up on Monday, could eclipse 60 degrees in many spots. Stray shower possible on Tuesday, then a cold front will pass, and then we'll cool off as we get into Wednesday and Thursday. The Kagan Allergy Report for today shows pollen is high, mold is low as well, and you can always find the latest forecast on our Storm Team 5 app, available in the App Store and Google Play.
Oh, I don't want to be waking up tomorrow morning to see any white.
Yeah, hopefully it doesn't stick for the Fox cities, but Northwoods is what we're watching for tonight.
All right, thanks, Ryan. Well, up next on Local 5, goodbye paint and pencils, hello Imagination Station. Kids from the Boys and Girls Club are getting creative with art, and they aren't using traditional methods. Welcome back. A Milwaukee group is taking part in a national day of action to end anti-Asian racism. Protesters gathered in Mitchell Park this afternoon. The goal is to promote awareness after the Atlanta spa shootings. 6 of the 8 people killed were Asian women.
We are here today to stand in solidarity with the Asian community amidst of the horrific, racist, and misogynistic massacre that took place in Atlanta.
The 21-year-old suspect denied the attack was racially motivated, but officials say it's still too early to rule out a hate crime. Well, these topics are trending right now on our website. It's been 1 full year since Jehovah's Witnesses worldwide had to stop going door to door because of the pandemic. Instead, they've embraced a new way to get in contact with others by writing letters, making phone calls, and turning to technology. The first case of a potentially more severe COVID-19 variant was confirmed in Wisconsin this week. First originating in Brazil, DHS says the P1 variant is believed to spread more rapidly than the original strain of coronavirus. Health officials worry the variant will be difficult to fight off through vaccinations. Well, after being hospitalized for a month and a half, a 64-year-old Oshkosh man has won his battle with the virus. Mark Schubert left Ascension Mercy with a COVID-free bill of health after more than 45 days stuck in the hospital. Hospital staff say Schubert's discharge date is symbolic, as it marks exactly 1 year since Ascension Mercy admitted its first critical care COVID-19 patient. Wow, that was great to see. Here's a Local 5 digital story to watch. Students at Green Bay Boys and Girls Club are getting a chance to bring their imagination to life. The students in Mr. Craig's class, better known as his young artists, have created 4 comic books and a graphic novel. The Youth's Art Initiative has been so successful, the club is looking to make the arts a fundamental part of the Boys and Girls Club.
There's so much learning going on here that we're just love to showcase that and really show the community how valuable the Boys and Girls Club truly is.
The students have even turned one of their comics, Food Shack Funnies, into a YouTube series. You can find more digital exclusive stories by just clicking on the Digital Center tab on our website, wearegreenbay.com. And now here's Matt Reynoldson with sports. Hey, Matt.
All right, Connie. Coming up next in sports, a prominent figure in Wisconsin is reportedly calling it quits. We'll have that and more next. Plus, Wiener Dogs on ice and hockey. We'll have highlights from the best day of the year at the Resch Center next.
And here is a look at tonight's winning lottery numbers, the Pick 3 and Pick 4, and the Powerball. Good luck, everyone.
Now Local 5 Sports with Matt Reynoldson.
It's a weapons league, and the Packers are keeping the firepower. Green Bay officially announced Aaron Jones' new deal Friday, and the star running back says he had unfinished business with the green and gold, especially after a tough NFC Championship game. The man they call Showtime has lit up the scoreboard the past 2 seasons and reportedly took a team-friendly deal to come back to Green Bay. Now Jones rejoins the likes of Aaron Rodgers and Devontae Adams as part of one of the NFL's most feared offenses. And number 33 has a chance to shine once again. But for all the questions about Green Bay's activity and free agency this offseason, or lack thereof, the most important signing was keeping Jones at home.
I mean, this is home for me. This is where my career started, and just everything feels right here. You know, and the system. I got my home here. I got my teammates. You know, the coaching staff, everything. So I just felt like it was a great fit for me, and continue to play where I've been playing, and it's home.
Big news out of Madison today. According to Jeff Petrikis of the Milwaukee Journal-Sentinel, Wisconsin Athletic Director Barry Alvarez is close to retiring. Alvarez had been the AD since 2004 and has held the full-time role on a full-time basis since he stepped down as head football coach in 2006. The College Football Hall of Famer went into the Wisconsin Athletic Hall of Fame in 2009. He's been a part of Badger Athletics for 32 years. Last night, the Bucks' 8-game win streak came to a halt against the Boston Celtics, but there's no time to keep their heads down. The Brooklyn Nets are reportedly adding 2 more former All-Stars in LaMarcus Aldridge and Blake Griffin, so Milwaukee needs to keep pace. Bucks currently the 3 seed, Knicks currently the 6th seed in the East. No Giannis, no Chris, no Drew in this one, but Thanasis Antetokounmpo showing his range in the first half. 3 for 3 start from deep. Second half, the rookie pitching in. Jordan Nwora with the step back as the Bucks' young stars keeping them in it. But in the final moments, Alec Burks with the dagger. 3-ball gives New York the lead. Bucks depth not enough as the Knicks win it 102-96. Let's go to college hoops and March Madness, the Sweet 16 tipping off with a pair of Cinderellas, Oregon State and Loyola. Low-scoring first half, Beavers taking advantage. Warith at Alatache beats the halftime buzzer. Oregon State up 8 at the break. But a run for Loyola in the second half. Fast break alley-oop to Aher Agwook. Cuts the 3. Sister Jean loving it. Crunch time now. Beavers looking for a dagger, and they get it from Jared Lucas. Oregon State becomes just the second 12 seed to reach the Elite 8, winning 65-58. To the South region, number 1 seed Baylor looking to keep the dream alive against March phenom Villanova and Jay Wright. Wildcats putting the pressure on the top seed. Brandon Slater brings the house down. Nova takes a 6-point lead in the second half. But then a big run from the Bears. All-American Jared Butler spins his way to the hoop for 2 and the lead. Villanova would turn it over on 5 straight possessions. Baylor taking advantage. Transition 3-ball from Adam Flagler as Baylor punches its ticket to the Elite 8, 62-51, the final. 2 more Sweet 16 games today. Oral Roberts misses a last-second 3, and the Cinderella story ends against Arkansas. ORU would have been the first ever 15 seed in the Elite 8. And this one's still in progress. Syracuse and Houston doing battle in the Midwest. Houston now with a 39-30 lead in the second half. Well, the Green Bay Gamblers have had fans at the Resch Center all season, but tonight, a sellout crowd with the reduced capacity at the arena. Plenty came for the hockey tonight, but perhaps the main draw was the Wiener Dogs. The annual Wiener Dog Races, Dachshunds on ice. What could be better than this? It was a slow start to the race, much like the slow start to this game. Scoreless first period as Green Bay's defense stands tall in some tight moments. Second period, though, Team USA striking first. Marek Hajduk takes advantage of the loose puck and puts it in the back of the net. But the Gamblers with an answer in the second. Damian Carfagna with a long-range wrister. Side netting finally beats the goaltender. Gamblers ride the momentum to a 4-2 win over Team USA. And Connie, I know you love those Wiener Dogs. You'll have a little bit more about them coming up next in our
I want to hear you do 30 seconds of play-by-play just on the Wiener Dogs.
Well, that's your job. Awesome. You're doing the highlight.
I'll do it. All right, thanks, Matt, and we'll be right back. Final check on weather. The Green Bay Archdiocese continues its virtual outreach to parishioners. Bishop David Rickens celebrates a 1-hour Mass for Palm Sunday starting tomorrow morning at 10:30 a.m. It's right here on Local 5, and it's on our website, wearegreenbay.com. Well, finally tonight, you heard Matt talking about it. It's one of the most popular nights of the Green Bay Gamblers season, and this year there was even an added little surprise. More than a dozen Wiener Dogs took to the ice for the annual Wiener Dog Race put on by the hockey team. The race benefits the Happily Ever After Animal Sanctuary in Green Bay. Fans cheered on their favorite furry friend to win, and one rambunctious racer just got so excited, he left a little present there on the ice. Yeah, and there's the cheering. There are so many ways I could transition from that into this forecast you have coming up, Ryan, because that's about what I think of it.
Yeah, this is one way to describe the weather, I guess. But here's a current look on radar on satellite as we get into this tonight forecast. Again, we've seen rain throughout much of the day, some snow up in the Northwoods. Now, what you'll notice on this radar is we're not watching the rain directly overhead right now. We're going to western portions of the state. That's when we could see some of that snow move in. So here's a look at the next 12 hours. We'll see a little bit of a break in the Fox cities, but snow is likely to move in. Some areas get a dusting. It'll struggle to stick at times. Some areas up in the Northwoods could get over an inch. Here's your forecast for tomorrow. It turns sunny and windy, and if you're out and about tomorrow, the worm moon, that will be tomorrow, rising out of the east on Sunday.
Looking forward to it. Well, thanks for keeping it local tonight at 10. See you right back here tomorrow morning.